Everybody, this is Videobob, and I'm back with another kind of a review, sort of a follow-up. I think it was more than a year ago I did a video about the SkullShaver, the head shaving device. I've had those over the years, and I was having a problem with it. I was saying that, there was some issues with the motor drive, stopping working and things like that. Got in touch with SkullShaver, or they got in touch with me. They watched the video and they said, we have had these issues before and we're going to take care of that. And they sent me a prototype of their new shaver called the Pitbull. This was a prototype unit, and I've been using it for about 6 months now, and it works great. Now, I did have to replace the blades, which is something that you do have to do on any kind of a shaver. I mean, can't expect the blades to last forever. I have a full head of hair. I have thinning hair here, and I do have a bald spot back here. But basically, if I let my hair grow for a month, I'd have my whole head of hair, I just have bald spot up here, but I have hair. And so I have to use this thing like twice a day. I have to shave my head a lot. So what happened with the first set of blades is they just started squealing. They were like making a squealing noise. And I noticed because I hadn't cleaned them real well. Now, you're supposed to like rinse them off, put them in a rinse stand and things, and I just wasn't keeping up with the cleaning enough, and I had just gotten them too dull. And so I bought a replacement set of blades that came, and they work great, and things been working fine. I have had zero problems. So their new design, follow-up here after 6 months using this thing, works absolutely fantastically. Nothing wrong with it at all. So now, people like my reviews because they're unsolicited. I give, I hold nothing back. I say what I got to say. I do what I got to do. And that's the way it is. So I don't want anybody to feel like I've sold out. This is not a sellout. Okay, but I have been sent free of charge once again from SkullShaver more stuff. But you got to remember, this is a follow-up to a customer complaint where I said, look, I'm having a problem with your product. And not only, they responded in the best way possible. They said, look, we're going to completely redesign this product. We're going to make it better, and we want to win your business. So because I've kind of become a little bit of an expert in these, they're like, you know what? We appreciate your opinion so much. We want you to check this thing out. Now, like I said, this was the prototype Pitbull. This is the official release. Now, I'm not doing an unboxing because it's just me taking some shit out of a box. You don't need to see that. All right, so here is, it's essentially the exact same as this prototype, except it has this Pitbull etching on there. Came basically fully charged. You got a little cool little screen there. And these are supposed to be the new and improved blades. And yeah, let me see. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so let me take these off. And you know what? I didn't think to clean it first. Gross. Oh wow. So this is the first time I'm really, really looking at the two, and I see what you've done there. So check this out. They have added a third ring. So if you look at these, this is the original ones they sent me. I don't know if there's a top or a bottom, but you'll see there's an outer ring and an inner ring, and then sort of a dome, and the center one just has the one ring. Now, if you look at these, if I can get them in the light, you'll see that there is, if I can get them close. Oh, there you go. You can see that there's actually 3 sets of rings, as opposed, if I put these here, you can see the difference. See there? So this is the new, so this was technically like their old blades, I guess. And so this is their whole new blade system. And I'm also noticing a much beefier thing on the back here. This is the old one. You can see how they're mounted on there. And then see there's a larger, sort of a carrier bearing on the back. Much, much larger, beefier construction. Just for fun, let me pull one of these off and see how it looks inside. And, oh yeah. So they've definitely redesigned this. This is much better. I hate to take this off because it's going to be dirty. It's going to have my grody little hair in it. Let me do it over the trash can. I should have rinsed it off first. But, you know, I use this thing all the time. But I can tell you right away, if I can get this thing off here. It's on there really good. Let me get a little. I should have cleaned it first. I should edit all this out, but I'm not gonna. Oh, fuck. It went right in the trash. Well, all right then. I just totally screwed that up. These aren't supposed to come off so easily, I guess. Jesus. All right. I'll have to go fish that out of the trash. Gross. Anyway, completely redesigned. Completely. Here's the old one. Now, granted, it's going to have my hair goo on it. Ew. But anyway, you see this little gray part here in the middle? In the past, I've had a problem with, that's on a spring pivot. And in the past, when I've taken it apart to clean it, that's popped off. And I've almost lost it like I just did. This one has a completely different drive system. Yeah, it's a completely different shaft, basically. This is the old one, and granted, it's dirty in there. And then this is the new one, which I'm trying to get some light in there. But anyway, the point is much beefier drive. They've added, oh, I see. So what's going on back here, from a mechanical point of view, is they've put a little carrier back there with the spring in it, and that carries the shaft and allows it to pivot. Whereas on this one, they had that little plastic deal there. Much, much better design. This is going to last a lot longer. And I'll do another follow-up here, another 6 months or a year. But I actually got, they gave me an extra one of these, I guess. Oh, no, okay. So I see what they did. So he sent me one of the old ones as a comparison so that I could show you the two. That's what this is. Just in case I didn't have this one. So this one I should just throw in the trash, I guess. It's used. I'm not going to use it anymore. So what he did was, because they're thoughtful, they wanted me to review both of them. He sent me one of the old ones and one of the new ones so I could show the comparison between the two. And so, like, I'll just keep this one as a backup because it does work. It's not terrible. So I can't wait to try it. Also, something really cool that he sent me. This is really cool. A USB charger. That is badass. USB charger instead of their regular charger. And what's great about that is I don't need this. I don't need that because everybody has USB. Now I could take this thing with me and I don't have to carry the charger with me. And now I can just plug it into whatever USB charger I have, plug it into my laptop and charge it, which is great. The only thing, SkullShaver, I would tell you that would take this up a notch is next time you redesign this, just go ahead and put in a waterproof micro USB and get it over with. And then you won't even need to give me a power cable. Because if it had a regular micro USB on here, everyone in the world has micro USB, and I could just plug it in with USB, because clearly this is a 5.5 volt, 6 volt system, and it plugs in USB. But I like that we're moving in that direction. So next redesign, put a micro USB on there for me. I don't know if you have to pay a licensing for that. That would be really cool. All right, the thing's already charged up. Also, something they changed from the old units is the other ones, they just like snapped in through pressure. This one has an interlocking system. It goes in, you have to find little holes here. There we go. It goes in like that, and then you rotate, and now it's locked. So it won't pop out by accident. The reason that's important is the design here of this curve is you're supposed to, like Spock, you know, it's like, live long and prosper and shave your head, okay? So you go like that, right? And then you do it like this. Now that's the design, but I've always held it from these two ribs here. I've always just held it like that. But for those that want to do it this way, and it won't pop off. It's on there really good. Whereas the old design, I don't even have one of the old ones, I don't think, anymore. I think I do right here. This one, I think this one was a lady shaver. Yeah, this is a lady shaver. Now, this is one of their really old ones. And the lady shaver, it's really the same unit as their other Bald Eagle, but they put it in like a nice female attractive silicone skin. It was like partially waterproof. But anyway, this thing just pulls off of there. See how easy that was? I mean, so like if you were holding like this and you were to accidentally move your hand the wrong, oops, whoa. So they learned from that mistake, and I recommend the little case too. The case, buy the case if you're going to order one. If it didn't already come with one, buy the case. You will thank me later, because you know you get little hairs and stuff, and it fits in there perfectly. Hold the charger. Something else he sent to me is this cool little rinse stand. Now I actually already had one of these. Let me open that up. But maybe this, I don't know if this one's any different. Maybe it's a larger capacity. Oh, you know what? This one is bigger. This is much bigger than the other one I have. Oh, wow. That is way better. Oh, well, thank you. At first, I was like, I don't need this. I already have one. The other one I have is small. That's beefy. That holds a considerable amount of liquid. So the idea is you put the thing in there and you like lower it in there and let it wash. Now, the thing about it is this thing is basically waterproof. And you know what I've always kind of done with it is I would just put it in my sink and I'd put it like in a bowl and let it rinse. And then I'd put maybe a little drop of soap in there sometimes to clean it out. So the design of this is to hold this up in the air, and just these are partially submerged so that there's enough fluid to create a nice wash. Now, I don't think they mention what kind of fluid to use. I mean, I just use water. But I have the advanced Norelco system for my face, and it comes with this cool little cradle. It's like RoboCop's little chair, you know. And you put the shaver down in there, and it injects a cleaning solution, which is partially alcohol-based, and it also has like a sanitizing liquid in there, and then it cleans the thing, and then it dries it, and it goes through a whole cycle. It's really cool, but it was like $150. But I use that, and I would probably say, you know, you could make up your own little solution. Maybe you could probably use the same thing I use on my vinyl records when I clean them. I use distilled water, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and a little bit of jet dry. Now I would skip the jet dry, but the little alcohol and water, and that's probably all you need. I don't know exactly what they recommend. I don't know if alcohol would be a problem for the plastics in there. I'll do some more research on that. But it's a good sanitizer. Just a little bit of water, a little bit of alcohol. The reason I use distilled water is because the hard elements that are in your tap water, your calcium and lime deposits and things like that, they could build up on you in here. All right, I haven't actually used this thing, so that part is real. I'm just gonna throw that in the trash. I don't need that. Let's try it out. And this is supposed to be better for people with sensitive skin, according to their research, which I do have. I have seborrheic dermatitis, and I do get redness on my scalp. I use like Dermarest and Nizoral and shampoos like that. Yes, I do use shampoo even though I'm bald, because you have to clean your greasy head. You know, I find it good practice to wash your head before you use this thing. So I'll take just a rag and some water and just wipe it off, you know, and maybe even use like a baby wipe, you know, sometimes. Just something to get you want the oil off your head and off the hair, because that'll gum up the machine. It'll just makes things hard. Now, what I recommend to do after you're finished shaving, just put some lotion on your head. Go get a handful of lotion. I use Eucerin, the daily replenishing Eucerin, and I just put a handful of that and rub it on my head. In the old days, guys used to use like Vaseline. They'd take Vaseline, put it on their head, keep it nice and moist and shiny. It's cutting away pretty good. I always pay attention to listen. You know, the hair is thickest in the back and around the sides here, because if I were to let my hair grow naturally, I would have that Caesar thing real thick around the sides, you know what I mean? It's pretty thin up top, but I hear it grinding away, so and I'm one of those guys that like overdoes it. I'll sit here and watch TV, and I'll do this for 10-20 minutes when I'm way past the time I should have done it. I should have turned it off, you know? But it's like, as long as I can hear it cutting, I continue doing it. So I like it to be as baby butt smooth as possible. It kind of feels nice. It's a nice head massage. It's definitely smooth. There's definitely a difference with these new. Man, it's already done. I can already tell. You're sitting here watching a guy shave his head. What are you doing with your life? You know you love it. All right. Yeah, I've waited too long. That only used 5% of the battery. 5%. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Wow, that's totally smooth right there. Now, I have some redness here, and that's not because of this. I just told you about the dermatitis that I have. So, for instance, I get it right here and right in this area, and in my ears. I get it in my beard here, you know. So I just took a shower, and so I put a steroid cream on sometimes. So I'm gonna have to go upstairs and put that on there. So that's not from this, but that's kind of the reason for this, because there's people out there with real sensitive skin that like me, that have dermatitis, psoriasis, things like that, and it's a pain, you know, if you have it. It doesn't really hurt, but it is embarrassing to have. Look at this redness. So they wanted to respond to that and make a much smoother mechanism. They've got the 3 cutting rings here. And then they've also beefed up the way the suspension system works on the blade, because the way the blade worked on that one wasn't as responsive as it is on here. I like the little spring carrier they have. I mean, really good job. So, like I said, you know, I've had people come on and say, you're sold out, they sent you free stuff, and now you're talking nice about them. That's not the case. The video of me bitching about them is still up from a year or 2 ago. I didn't take it down, which is kind of a dick move of me. I probably should take it down because they've been so nice to me, and I was ripping them a new one in that video. But I leave it up to prove the fact that the reason people watch my videos is they like my honesty and my integrity. If I was having a problem with this, I assure you, I would tell you about it. And here's my old one. You know, I really don't need this one. Thank you. I didn't know you were going to send me a whole new unit. This one's still working fine. You know, it's got 40% on it. I mean, I charge it like once every week or 2. My only complaint that I gave them was that I love the chrome, but look at how it gets. I obsessively clean things. I I cannot stand it when my phone is gooey. And so you have to clean it a lot, but it's like a mirror, because it is a mirror finish. It's, you know, and that was my only complaint. I was like, look, I preferred the matte black or whatever, because I've only been using this thing 2 seconds and it's covered in fingerprints. I was like, oh, and it forces me to clean it all the time. But yeah, man, this thing is kicking ass. I mean, the new blade system, I approve. I love the new USB port, and I do like the new cleaning stand. I'm going to use it right now as soon as I'm done with this video. So for anybody who is on the fence about getting a SkullShaver, the Pitbull is a little bit more expensive. But the reason for that is this is a completely different unit than the old Bald Eagle. I mean, this is a completely different unit. It's waterproof. It's got a much better battery system in it. It's got different charging system, completely different charger. And this new blade system, I mean, it's over the top. It's a whole, man, I mean, I normally would be doing this for much longer. I don't even know why I'm doing it now, but like there's just a tiny, tiny bit of scruff. But really, if you run your hand over, you don't feel anything. How close can you get? I don't like to use a razor blade on my head. It's just too much, it's too much burn for me. This thing is comfortable. And you can do that. You know what's great about this? You can do it like while you're driving. You can be like driving down the road. You're late for work. Just take it with you and you just... All right. New Pitbull by SkullShaver. I will post a link to this directly in the video. Thanks for watching. Sorry for another long-ass video. But hey, this is a, you know, it's not an expensive item, but this is a part of your life. This thing is a part of your life. It's an important thing because basically it's going to be as important to you as your toothbrush, your comb, or any other thing that you use on a daily basis, twice a day, or at least once a day. You're never going to leave home without it. You're not going to go out of town without this thing. You'll be sorry. So, Pitbull shaver. Badass. Thanks, guys.